Human Rights Campaign targets battleground districts during broader reckoning over LGBTQ+ rights. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Add AP News on Google. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Share Washington app. The Human Rights Campaign, one of the nation's largest LGBTQ+ advocacy organizations, is vaulting into the midterms with a $15 million investment targeting Republicans in battleground districts after a series of setbacks in recent years. I think that this is the election that's going to be the sea change, not only for getting to a pro-equality majority, but for changing the momentum on this fight for equality, said Kelley Robinson, the Washington-based organization's president, in an interview with the Associated Press. This movement is ready for its next wind, its second wind. Besides 8 congressional districts that could help determine control of the U.S. House, the Human Rights Campaign is also supporting Democratic candidates for the U.S. Senate in Georgia, Michigan, Minnesota, New Hampshire, Ohio, and Texas. The money will be spent on advertising, events, and canvassers. The LGBTQ+ movement has been reckoning with a wave of defeats on the campaign trail and in the courtroom that have left Democrats struggling to regain their footing. President Donald Trump's Republican administration has rolled back protections for transgender people, such as banning them from serving in the military and cutting off gender-affirming care for children. The U.S. Supreme Court's conservative majority has upheld Republican states' restrictions while striking down bans on conversion therapy practices in Democratic states. I believe that our movement made ourselves believe that we were closer to equality than we actually are, Robinson said. The last few years, we've been doing an incredible amount of listening, of learning, also of repositioning this work. Read more. After the 2024 presidential election, Democrats were divided over the role that LGBTQ+ rights played in their party's losses. The Trump campaign ran a series of advertisements mocking Vice President Kamala Harris for supporting medical gender transitions for incarcerated people and highlighting the issue of transgender people playing on women's sports teams. Kamala Harris is for they slash them, said a voiceover in one national ad. President Trump is for you. Robinson argued that the ad was effective because of an implicit economic message, not for its critiques of the policy toward transgender people. But conservative activists and some moderate Democrats have argued such stances are too unpopular with swing voters. There's a real disconnect between most voters and the party elite, said Lyra Sapia, a fellow at the Manhattan Institute, a conservative think tank. He added, "If I'm a Democrat consultant, my advice would be, do everything in your power to keep this issue off the public agenda." Robinson said her organization has been soul-searching on how to best craft winning messages on LGBTQ+ rights. Our job is to move away from the fireballs that our opposition wants to talk about and instead find a way to get back to the things that are impacting folks every day, she said. In January, the Human Rights Campaign published a guide to blunting conservative attacks on LGBTQ+ issues, citing the successful campaigns of Virginia Gov. Abigail Spanberger and Kentucky Gov. Andy Beshear. Although the guide encourages candidates to lead with your values and address concerns directly, it also encourages them to go big and quickly pivot to issues like cost of living concerns. I think the #1 way to shut out a voter is to try to make them believe that their fears are not real. So what we coach candidates on doing is listening, Robinson said. For folks who have questions about the issues, that's okay. We're in a moment where the stakes in front of us are too high to look away. Follow the AP's coverage of LGBTQ+ issues at https://upnews.com/hub/LGBTQ.